You don't need a reading. You don't need another sign. You just need to meditate. I know it sounds hard to believe, but you've been tricked into thinking all the answers were out here, but the answers were in here all along. No one told you that you were born into a hologram, a simulation. I'm going to call this a crazy theory, even though there are CIA documents, quantum physics, quantum mechanics, things like that. I'm going to call this a crazy theory for entertainment purposes only. You were born into a simulation. The only reason it exists is because your senses were filled up right away from birth to convince you that it was real, to convince you that the only real thing was what you could see and hear and feel, but you felt it. Glitches in the matrix, unexplainable coincidences, timeline shifts, deja vu that just doesn't make any sense. Sometimes we can prove this stuff, other times we can't. But if you're here, you already know something about this reality is not what we were told. Tons of people who have near-death experiences come back completely changed. And that's because they saw the truth. They know that their consciousness does not stop when their body stops. Your mind keeps going in another dimension. And if you ever had a dream, you know that your consciousness moves when you sleep. So what if you could control that? What if you could exit the simulation at will? Like most of us, I have had some deeply spiritual, unexplainable things happen that for a long time I used religion as a way to explain until I couldn't anymore. I had a supernatural experience, come to Jesus experience, that changed my life forever. That was in 2001, and I've spent every single second since looking for answers. For over 20 years, I just spent looking outside myself, looking out here, confining my knowledge of Jesus, of God, of everything I knew about spirituality in a book that was published by man and filtered through secret societies. Crazy theory, entertainment purposes only. It tricked me, and it tricks so many of us. We fall into the trap of knowledge. We think we learned something in these spiritual texts, and that means something. That just answers our question because it satisfies that human need for knowledge. But it never satisfied that spiritual need I had until I realized so much knowledge was hidden and taken out and filtered and misinterpreted on purpose. So for all these years, 20 years, spent looking outside myself, looking for spiritual tools, spiritual teachers, trying to find something that really worked. But for a long time, I used frequency music on YouTube. That helped me meditate. I started to realize you have to go within. You have to turn off all the external and go within. Your mind is the portal. It's just that we're so distracted by everything out here, we never get a chance to do that. And it actually takes time. It was sort of painful for me at first to deprive my senses and to learn how to meditate. Then I finally found this visualization method. Go to the link below for more information. Yes, I use this every day. I've been using it for months. That's why I recommend it. I'm sorry I didn't recommend it sooner. I downloaded frequency music, and the best visualization technique I've ever used. I've been using it for months now. It just really got me started on a path to connecting to the other side. It's theta wave music that somehow makes me feel like my brain's taken a bath, and I love it, and I use it every single day. And really, it's the only thing that even brings me peace in this world right now. It helps me manifest. I use it when I'm feeling anxious or overwhelmed. I do have mental health issues. I hate to even use that term. As above, so below. Things may manifest in the physical as mental health issues, but I do realize that a lot of times it's a sign of spiritual stuff. Like people talk about indigo children or Hyoka empaths. I've had a lot of people tell me that. They're like, you're not autistic, you're empath. I know, but certain things manifest in the physical a certain way. This helps me. I can't take any antidepressants or anti-anxiety medication, and I have complex PTSD. I've been through a lot of trauma in my life. I really can't take anything for that. This helps me. This makes me feel like my brain's taken a bath. The truth is, your brain is a quantum receiver. It's all about tuning into the right frequency. This is the frequency that unlocked it for me. I don't have to be online to use it. I paid for it myself. I recommend it to you now. This is the link. It has changed my life forever, and right now, it is really the only thing keeping me going. I'm going to be honest with you. That's why I recommend it. I usually do intuitive card readings here. My brain is rebelling against that right now. My brain won't let me do anything but this. That's why I'm recommending this to you. This channel is called Leave This Message. This is the message. Theta wave frequency music. It's time to disconnect. I now have a way that I disconnect, and it has completely changed my life. I'm not going to say it's always been easy. I'm not saying it's a bed of roses all the time. It has been painful at times, but there has been radical change in my life. My brain is capable of things I didn't know it was capable of. Just like the roots of a tree, as above, so below. If you've never meditated and gone within, you don't know who you are. You really don't. I didn't know who I was. I see now that I was just like a battery. Just look, your brain is a battery. We live in a magnetic universe. You're always drawing in thoughts, consciousness. That's why you got to be really careful what you think about, the energy you share with people, the frequencies you take in over the media, music. You got to keep your mind clear. Be mindful of all that. This helps me. This makes me finally feel like I'm not just some volatile battery bouncing around out there just collecting energy. There's crazy theory being harvested. Okay, I finally feel like I am grounded and more sane than ever, even though, yeah, there have been ups and downs. Like lately, I've been kind of depressed about something. You know what? I meditate. This takes over. I put on these headphones and I put on this music. It started with the visualization method that you're given, but over time I have my own visualization, and this helps me unplug. It helps me disconnect and connect to my higher self. It's step one in getting out of the matrix.